All right, shalom, shalom. All right. As always, before I get started, I want to give all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, the bonds to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is the brother Zayan Amon from the GMS Detroit by count. And this is going to be a quick video dealing with, the foods that we eat and how our enemy, all right, our wicked, evil twin brother, Esau, Edom, all right, who is the so-called white man today, or self-proclaimed a white man, right, because the Lord calls him Edom, red, all right, he is the one that's designed to slay his brother Jacob, and he's using every facet or every device that's at his disposal, he's using that. He's basically just he's perverted the whole earth, right? All right? According to the air you breathe, the water you drink, the food that you eat. And some of this food, I use that term loosely because, case in point, the title I have on the screen here, one of the brothers put this in the group chat, and it just reminds you of the hell, right? It reminds you that we're in hell, all right? That we're in captivity, all right? And as the scriptures say, this is not our rest, because here you have it. You can't even get a decent piece of fish. You can't even have clean, good salmon, wild salmon, Like, how hard is that? But hey, this is what happened when the wicked is bearing rule. Again, he perverts everything. He basically turns everything to death. But as you see on the screen, it says genetically modified salmon head to U.S. dinner plates. So this is literally freaking food. All right, it's not the real salmon that you would catch out in the wild, or Alaska or wherever the case may be. This is something that was engineered basically in a lab, right, or a farm, right? But they have like powers that be, the elite. They have like how can I put it? Basically like a control area where they They have a control area where they cultivate and engineer these fish. All right, just about any food nowadays. And I mean, we just in a bad case. It's like, that's the saying go. You have to pick the best of the worst. You have to definitely read labels, turn things over, see like what's in it. All right, but I'm gonna get a point in this article. So let me read this. It says genetically modified salmon head to U.S. dinner plates. Okay. The inaugural harvest of genetically modified salmon began this week after the pandemic delayed the sale of the first such altered animal to be cleared for human consumption in the United States, company officials said. Right? Now, which I probably do a video on that as well. That now mind you, right, yeah, it was cleared here in the US, but 9 times out of 10 it wasn't cleared anywhere else. Right? You have a lot of chemicals or additives that they'll call it. Right? A lot of additives and chemicals that's basically sanctioned to be used here, that's banned, in other countries. It's they consider it poison. The poison that it is, so they won't even allow it, within their borders. But America, they pretty much got people consuming any and everything, But it says several tons of salmon engineered by biotech company Aqua Bounty Technologies Inc. will now head to restaurants and away from home dining services, where labeling as genetically engineered is not required. That's one of the points I want to get. So now you got to come down the pipe to where they don't even have to tell you They don't have to tell you what type of salmon it is. You know, whether it's on the menu or, you know, you're at the grocery store, and hell, it could be a point you think, you know, on the, you know, the front of the package, you know, wild caught or, you know, Alaskan salmon and this and that. It give you an impression, oh, okay, this came from fresh water. This came from the high seas. Okay, great. All in all, it's probably been engineered from some farm, right? And it's not real. You know, it's synthetic. You know, so man, this man, he's rightfully called the devil. You know, and people get so bent out of shape and offended by calling the white man the devil, but is he not playing that role? You know, it's like, come on. You know, which the word devil means deceiver, right? So a lot of our people, out of ignorance, they say that because they have the thought in their mind that was taught to them by the white man, by the way, that the devil, you know, is some man in a red suit that's under the earth or something. Like, no. The devil, he's right in front of your face, and you can't even see him. And that's why the Lord cursed them. Right? He cursed Esau, Edom, and made his curse of leprosy as a sign. And you niggas still can't pick it up. You don't see that, or you don't you know, just think upon the fact that this guy may be wicked. He may be the devil. You know, as to say, like, why is the so-called white man, why does he look the way he look? You know what I'm saying? Why does he look different from everybody else? Does that make him special? No. That doesn't make him special. That's just, again, that's a sign from the Heavenly Father to point out the enemy, to make it it's an indicator, right? It's an indication that according to the person's spirit, that this guy might very well be an Edomite, because the Edomites were described, right, to come out looking just as they look, all right? A lot of Edomites are hairy, naturally, right? And for damn sure they're red, right? Or derivatives, you know, different shades of red, you know, according to their emotion. You know, some look more on the pale side. I mean, they all look pale, but, you know, you have some that, like, some Edomites that had that deep, dark red, you know, flesh. Some of a more pinkish tone and lighter and dark, but whatever the case, all right, they're the enemy that's set against you, right? And they prove it every day through their works, through their actions, right? Because there's no logical reason to do something like this, you know. Let me read on. It says, thus far, the only customer to announce it is selling the salmon is Samuels and Sons Seafood, a Philadelphia based seafood distributor. Aquabani has raised its fastest growing salmon at an indoor aquaculture farm, Albany, Indiana. The fish are genetically modified to grow twice as fast as wild salmon, reaching market size, which is 8 to 12 pounds, in 18 months rather than 36. So what does that show? That shows at the end of the day, it's all about money. All right. At the same time, they get to kill you jakes up. Because, see, the enemy, all right, Esau, Edom, these elites, they know us. They know us very well, all right, because they have the scriptures, they read it. All right, so they've been able to pick out our characteristics, our attributes, you know, just our culture in general, right? It's no coincidence that it's a fish and seafood, right? Fish and seafood or fish and chicken spot damn near on every other corner these days, all right? You'd be like, damn, how can all these places being business, you would think the market is oversaturated or that it's too much competition, but no. Hey, Jake like fish, and Jake like chicken. All right, we have scriptures on that. We have records on that. You know what I'm saying? That's our get on. And since the enemy knows that, all right, he monetizes that. All right, so yeah, they making money, right, hand over fist because they growing salmon at twice the rate of a regular salmon. You know what I'm saying? And then whatever the makeup is it's killing you. It's doing more harm than good. I put it that way. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, man, these are more reasons why you should desire to get out of here. Because this guy, the devil, so-called white man, he's literally trying to slay his brother Jacob, right, as he promised himself, right, after the passing of his father, Isaac. Let me get this real quick. This is 1 Peter. 1 Peter 5:8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant." All right, so basically be aware. So that's in all walks of life, even your food. You should be aware of what you're putting in your body, right? Because you got to know, okay, you didn't make this. Your enemy made this. He manufactured this. So is he, does he even promote, a well-based diet? No, he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta know he's not meant to do good by you. So yeah, you gotta read labels. You gotta check stuff out. You gotta look up stuff and see if it's just reasonable to eat. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. With some brothers can eat some things that other brothers wouldn't eat. Not to say that it isn't lawful. It's just brothers get different, taste palates and exposure, to certain foods. But nonetheless, yeah, you should be proactive in what you put in your body. You know what I mean? It's your body, You're set to govern your own body, Not some doctor or somebody in a white coat, all right? You should know what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." That's right. And basically, he's weaponizing everything. He's weaponized the air we breathe by way of the chemtrails that they spray. They're seen all year round, in a tic-tac-toe type pattern. All right? I don't care where you go. You'll find a chemtrail somewhere every day. You know what I'm saying? The water that you're drinking is not necessarily clean water, the water that come out your faucet, that's not clean water. Right? It's so bad that you have to buy water. And then that water is what is housed in a plastic bottle 9 times out of 10. So like this guy, this it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be like this. But this our enemy, all right, is seeking to devour us. Is seeking to slay us. He wants to kill you so-called Negroes, Blacks, and Native Americans. All right, but he's doing it more. Well, he is a cunning hunter, right? So he does these things. It may take years for it to take effect, all right? But nonetheless, it still worked. You know what I'm saying? If Esau was to feed you whatever and just, big groups of Israelites dying off, that would be alarming. That would be a red flag to the whole world. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Right, well, people are going to ask questions. But if Esau does it with subtlety and, where it looks as if it's not hurting everyone, or it's at a different rate or whatever, then basically no one is the wiser, right? They don't even know or consider, like, maybe it's the food. I mean, you won't even consider that because, you go back to, my mother and my grandmother grew up on this and that. I grew up on this and that. Well, all right, that don't make it right. Just because you grew up on, for example, shellfish, lobster, crabs, snails, and frog legs and all that weirdo stuff. Just because you grew up on that don't make it right. That's why we had the scriptures to correct us, to show us, okay, what's lawful to eat, what's not lawful to eat. And that's not outdated. That's not, hasn't been done away with. Those same standards still apply today, right? What was lawful, right, to eat in the ancient world is lawful to eat now, So, we got to be sober, we got to be vigilant, we got to be paying attention, and being up on things. We should, in fact, have a keenly mindset, like the brother Daniel. You should be a picky eater. That's your right. You should, say, okay, well, I'm not having that, or I don't want that. Whatever it is. You have the right to say, well, I don't want that. You know what I mean? Because you have a king mentality. You have a kingly mentality. Certain food you look at, it's just like, oh, that's peasant food. I'm not eating that. You know what I'm saying? I don't, I'm damn sure not getting no nourishment out of it. Right? It's probably nasty, and moreover, it's not good for me. So why would I consume it, right? But to take a book or a page out of Daniel's book, right? This is Daniel 1. And let's see. I'll start at 4. It says, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom and cunning in knowledge and understanding science. Right? So, hey, these brothers, man, they were just had much wisdom. That's another thing. Men at a younger age were a lot smarter back then. All right? Because, we didn't have all the distractions that we have today by way of the media and TV and sports and, hobbies and just, it's too many things to gain your attention. But in the old world, you didn't have that. Just, you had the scriptures, But reading on, it says, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. All right, it says, now among these were of the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names. For he gave unto Daniel the name of Belshazzar, and to Hananiah of Shadrach, and to Mishael, Meshach, and to Azariah, and Abednego. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. So now mind you, this is the king. He's living in abundance, He's got all these so-called quote-unquote good foods and things that put some weight on you, and so where you got a pot belly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it may look good, may taste good, but one, is it lawful? Is it benefiting your body? You know what I'm saying? Then you have knowledge of all that, right? You have wisdom of all that. And more importantly, he had a kingly mentality. All right, he didn't buckle down or go along with the get along game and say, yeah, okay, well, this is what you are for me. Yeah, sure, I'll eat it too. No, hell with that. He had a mind to say no. He denied it. I said, no, I don't want any of that. I got an alternative, right? Which was in him, eating post, I believe it was. Let's see, postcard. Yeah, let me jump down. It says, this is Daniel 1:12. Prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. So what is pulse? Just like a little quick on here. Get the word pulse in the blue letter. All right, this is vegetables. Something sown, i.e. vegetable as food. So, hey, brother just ate food for 10, not just food, but vegetables. You know what I'm saying? What they say, get your fruits and veggies. Right, so, hey, and as he was originally deemed, that basically every herb yielding seed should be meat for us. We didn't eat flesh, animal meat at one point, But nonetheless, hey, this brother Daniel, he ate pulse, vegetables, which I'm big on that, and brothers should be big on that, yeah. Whether it be cabbage and, Brussels sprouts and broccoli and pea pods and, bean sprouts, greens, get your greens in, your peppers, your onions, you know what I mean, the leeks, all of that, you'll have a better, generally speaking, you should have a better lifestyle. You should have a better quality of life concerning your health. You know what I'm saying? All this food, that they call food is death. It's death. It leads to death. It leads to hypertension, high blood pressure, all right, heart attacks, strokes, like you name it. It's all bad news. So, man, we have to check our labels. All right, we have to look into what they're claiming to be food and fact checking it, right? But yeah, this is ridiculous, man. What's really peeving me off is that they don't have to say, they don't even have to say, oh, it's farm raised or whatnot. So now we really being duped. But hey, our people love that. They love to hear lies. They don't care. Because hey, 2/3 of our people are carnal minded. So they want to, they want to feed the right now spirit. They do everything in haste. They don't have any patience. And that's why a lot of people in that day are going to starve. They're going to starve out fast because, yeah, you used to, having a snack, something to eat every 2-3 hours. And that's not necessary. That's not necessary to maintain from day to day. So, yeah, that's my little tidbit on that, on this genetically modified salmon. And, Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yabushai, Ba'ashim Kakudash, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that ruled well. Peace and salutation to the Akim that's pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.